Live. Hey, people. What's going on, Just Warriors? How are you? Did you like the title of my live just now? What did I call it? That was 2 seconds ago. I can't remember. I called it All's Not Well because it's not, but it's okay. We're going to get through this, right? We always are going to get through this together. Strength in numbers. We're here for each other. Okay, so was there anybody else I needed to text? Yeah, there is. Okay, there. All right. So I have my phone right here charging while I'm on my live. Mr. Mark, how are you, my friend? It's so lovely to see you 2 days in a row. What is going on? What isn't going on, right? So I just don't even know where to begin. I'll start with my same old, same old. Please make sure that you're still subscribed. If you are subscribed, and if you're not, please consider subbing up. It's free, no commitment. It helps the channel out a lot. Share a video of mine with somebody that you think will like my channel. Turn on your notification bell to ring a ding ding. Hit your like button if you'd be so kind. And let me knock everything over. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation and open up a discussion and learn something and be educational. And all of these videos are made for the tube of you and me. And so Mr. Mark says, I'm good, had hail and rain for 10 minutes. Well, that's very cleansing, isn't it? As long as the hail doesn't like damage stuff or pelt you in the face. CNN and other outlets are now propaganda owned. Scary. Yeah, this freaking war is scary. I was just watching Heather Cox Richardson right before I came on, and she was throwing some numbers out there that I had not heard yet. You know, like the girls' school that got bombed, 118 deceased, and I think over 600 wounded. I knew a girls' school had gotten bombed, but I had no idea the numbers were that high. They're saying that 3 American soldiers have suffered fatalities, and like that 5 or 6 more are gravely injured. I just have a feeling that the numbers are being underreported. Again, the effing propaganda, right? Like you can't trust anything, and you certainly can't trust the freaking president. I don't even like to call him that. He's a freaking joker is what he is. He's a very, very dangerous, volatile imbecile, and he needs to be taken out of office immediately, if not sooner, in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly. I had homemade pork chops. Oh, that sounds so good. And with my braces, I could do the was it Bobby Brady or was it Peter Brady? The pork chops and applesauce. Do you remember that one? Oh, we're aging ourselves, aren't we? Which the doctor whose speech on Zygote War on YouTube, Peter Brady. Yes, from me to you, Taro. What's up? Pork chops and applesauce. That's the best. And I don't think you know this brag from me to you, Taro, but some of my viewers might remember that I got to meet Greg Brady when I was 8 years old in the grocery store at Ralph's grocery store in Beverly Hills, California. I was in 3rd grade. I bumped into Peter Brady. I walked right up to him and I said, "Wow, you're Peter Brady." No, Greg Brady, sorry. But his real name is Peter Williams. So there we go. So I walked up to him and said, "Wow, you're Greg Brady." And he said, "Well, actually, my name's Peter Williams." And then he did something really creepy, like in hindsight, really creepy, but it was sweet. It wasn't creepy. It could have been interpreted that way. He was like, "You want to come out to my car? I just got a bunch of headshots done and I can sign one for you." And we walked out to his cute little white Volkswagen Beetle convertible. He took out a nice headshot from a big box and he signed it and he handed it to me. So it was nice. But nowadays, if somebody offered to take an 8-year-old out to the freaking parking lot, you'd have to throw cuffs on them, huh? Anyway, tangent. There's so much I want to talk with you guys about. So Mark watches BBC News. I love the Inside Trump's Head. I love that. And yeah, the Daily Beast. Be Beast, right? He has zero morals and Republicans clap at his poo. Mr. Mark, you nailed it. They absolutely clap at his poo. They're like, oh, president made a poopy, which I'm sure he does in his pants every day. I mean, seriously. Barry Williams, thank you. I'm so confused. You're the best. Greg Brady, Barry Williams. What did I say? Peter Williams? My brain doesn't function. I have so much information in this brain to share with you guys, so I had to like download all the old stuff. Barry Williams. I would have never remembered that in a million years. I did get the last name right. BoobTube, what's up? Probably a thing back then, like Luke and Laura. Midas Touch. Yeah, Midas Touch is, you know, sometimes I want to give constructive criticism. Like, I don't want to be mean about it because they do so much good at Midas Touch. They do so much good, hands down. And they're a little too mamby-pamby for me. And they do some of that bait and switch crap. You know, they do the recycled news. Like, they act like something is brand new that's not. I mean, all of that. A lot of channels do that crap. And I just don't, I think they're too good for that. I think they're dumbing themselves down and that they shouldn't do it, basically. But yeah, I'm just so happy that so many alternative channels are as big as them. They have like almost 7 million subs now. Like, I became a sub when they had like 4 million. And yeah, I am happy for them. And they are millionaires, let's be clear. They make a buttload of money with that channel. I mean, they make what, 50 videos a day or something? It's nuts. But they also give some little channels a chance. Like, that's how I found Boston Brian. And then there's this female that I really like. And I wrote her name down somewhere because I was having trouble coming up with it the other day. I don't know that I'll be able to find it quickly. And there, like I said, there is a lot that I want to cover. And it might not be in either one of these books. It might be in a totally different one altogether. I am sorry. Anyway, yeah, I'll find her name. I'll try to put it in the description. On with the show. On with the show. Let's see. Oh, I got to change it from top chat. Everybody change your chat from top chat to live chat if you haven't already. Al Jazeera. Yeah. Oh, that's where the all-girls school was that got bombed. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Midas is good. Tarot. Yeah, let's see. I always have trouble, like, spur of the moment thinking of my favorite channels. Heather Cox Richardson is the bomb. She is amazing. You guys all know her, right? And if you don't, you'll want to, for sure. She's a great go-to. And of course, I've had it biatches. We love them. Yeah, there's some really good channels around. Mark, you called me BTV. I just laughed so hard when I realized it. I support all. I've had it, Brian. Yeah, I've had it. And then Brian Cohen Taylor, is that the Brian that you're talking about? Yeah, he's really good. and David Pacman. Like those two are both huge. They're probably at least as big as Midas. So some of my favorites are Lev Parnas. I'll say it again and again because that man is the bomb diggity. He always delivers. He never overhypes. He's always got new stuff. He's very original. Lev Parnas. His son Aaron Parnas, same. Those two are top shelf. Ali Waj Ali. So his whole name starts with a W-A-J. It's like Wahajit Ali, A-L-I is his last name. He's phenomenal. And since his first name is such a mouthful, people just call him Waj Ali. And then Zev Shalev, who's friends with Lev. So don't get me started on all that. And then I just found out that Ellie Leonard does have her own channel. She does have her own channel. So she calls herself the Panicked Writer, I think. Are you guys familiar? So she's the one who's been doing all the hardcore nitty gritty with the e-files, Ellie Leonard. And her channel's pretty small. It's not much bigger than mine. So go sub up to Ellie Leonard if you're interested. She's really good. I thought she was just making the circuit on everyone else's channel, but I just found out she does have her own channel. Democracy Now! I love them. Thank you. Democracy Now! Is really good, and I always forget to mention them. They're one of the best. Is it one Asian with big glasses? Oh, Katie Fang! She's one of my all-time favorites, and Katie Couric too. Yeah, they are, again, top shelf. They're so good. Okay. War is moronic. We have to talk to end war. Well, I think the war, as so many people on the internet are saying, I wrote it down since my brain sometimes just stops working when I'm on live. They're calling this war Operation Epic Fury, and a lot of YouTubers are calling it Operation Epstein Fury. I think very appropriate. And I would say Operation Trumpstein Fury. And I'm also really happy that a lot of channels are starting to say the Trump Epstein files instead of the Epstein files. I think that's really good. Secular Talk. That's an excellent channel. If you guys don't know Secular Talk yet. I despise war. It's evil. It's evil. And I wanted to catch you guys up because you know I have a son that's active duty in the Navy. Could cry. He's not at risk of being deployed that we know of, but that's the thing about the military is you freaking never know. So he's he's like 2 years in, 2.5 years in since boot camp. He's training to be a nurse. So I think he's just starting his final phase of training. He had been in San Antonio. He just graduated that school. And then he's going to be practicing, I think, like a resident at Walter Reed. So that's cool. And I think it's 2 years. But when there's war, you just don't know. You just don't know. And now they're saying, like, they thought it was going to be a 4-day war. Now they're saying a 4-week war. Like, come on. Like, they don't have a freaking clue. They don't have a freaking clue. Is it Katie Fang? Katie Fang is so good. And she's always so angry with good reason. I love her fury. She focuses it really well. Katie, yes, boob. Yep, thought so. HCR. Did I say HRC? I always do that. But yeah, Heather Cox Richardson. Bruno Mars is great too. Musician, yeah. David Pacman, yeah. I watched David too. Yep. This war will happen at elections. They won't stop because they will go to prison. I know, Mr. Mark. Like we have got to take this democracy back. I mean, I feel like it's kind of over. We're already in the next phase of not a democracy, but a fascist regime. And that's definitely what it's all about, in my opinion. And he's so guilty. He's so guilty. I'm 4 times a victim. Trump, so guilty. I'm 4 times a victim. Are you, Mark? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I listen to all sorts of people to understand everyone's perspectives. I just hate when some people have been so clickbaity lately. I know, it drives me nuts. I hate it. And I don't have any wax on my braces, so I have some nearby right here. I might need to put some on, actually. I hate to do that in front of you guys, but I don't want to like duck out either. I'll just try to suffer through it. I see how it works out. As long as I have ice water, I should be okay, but my ice might have all melted. Let me see. Let's see what's going on. I think there's a little bit of ice in there still. Yes, there's ice. All right, we should be good to go then. You can't obliterate something twice. Right. When he said that they obliterated the nuclear war capacity, and yeah, that was ridiculous. Prayers to our soldiers. I know. I just mentioned the war in my new release from yesterday. It vexes my soul that people believe the news and support the war. I had a loved one involved in the Caribbean debacle. Broke me. Boob. Agree. I'm just tired of us being the hammer of the world. Well, I feel like our douchebag guy in the seat of the president is BB's bitch, basically. And he is BB's puppet, and BB wants what BB wants, and Donnie Two Dolls is delivering. And it's my belief, I'm hands down convinced 100% that BB and Daddy Vladdy have all the dirt on the Trumpster fire. They have everything in the Trumpstein files and more. And so he has to obey them. They could ruin him like that. And that's why it's so important that we know each and every politician that's in those files, like Howard Lutnick, and we know what they did, because so long as it's a secret, these people that are holding the secrets own them and control them and can make them do anything. That's not okay. Not okay. Oh, thank you, Mr. Mark. Nope, not me. The Epstein victim interviewed. Thank you for straightening me out on that. Yeah, I was surprised that you were saying that, because I've known you fairly well for YouTube land, and I had no idea. So yeah, you weren't victimized 4 times. The Trumpstein victim that was interviewed 4 times by the FBI, that is completely making Donnie Two Dolls crap his pants right now, and literally making him blow up the world, right? Boob, it's so wasteful and dumb. We broke countries serving Israel. True, Mark. Sorry about your Caribbean pain. Thanks, Mark. I think they are all got something on anyone. They have something on Pam Bondi and Marco, like an initiation. Yeah, I know. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. They definitely have dirt on everyone. Okay, so let me get into my notes, because I wanted to talk a lot, I think, about the case in Tip City. I feel like that's really important for domestic violence awareness. Ashley's family has rejected her married name. Caleb Flynn is her alleged red rummer. And so her family has asked for everybody to start calling her Ashley Smith, which I'm happy to do. I just want you guys to know who I'm talking about. So Ashley Smith, that was shot in the head twice 2 days after Valentine's Day with her 2 daughters in the next bedroom. And, you know, it's domestic violence. That's what it is. And it doesn't matter what the F his reasoning is. My guess is that he has a huge life insurance or multiple life insurances. There's a lot of chatter about a mistress, which is most likely accurate. But what is going on in Tip City and with that church is that they're trying to put a wet blanket over all of it. They're trying to cover up as much of the scandal as they can, not out of respect for Ashley Smith, for themselves, for the reputation of their flippin' city, and for the reputation of their church, and for the reputation of the family business that Caleb worked for. So he worked for Ashley's family business. They have had a very successful business for like 50 years or more, about 50 years. I think it was like 1972 when it started. And they do flooring and furniture for churches. Very successful. And Caleb had worked his way up, or I don't know if they hired him at the vice president level or if he worked his way up, but he was a vice president of the flooring department, I think. And working in a family business is one of the worst things for a mental health prognosis. It is extremely stressful. Family is stressful. Career is stressful. When you mix the two, it's just not a good idea. I mean, if everything is peaches and cream and rainbows and lollipops every day, it's great, right? But that's not real life. You're going to have conflicts, you're going to have struggles, you're going to have problems. And when it's all interwoven, like if he is or was having an affair and he can't really get out of the marriage without losing his livelihood, unless he were to set it up to look like something other than what it was, of course. But it's very, very typical for cities and businesses to try to snuff out the scandal. Again, not to save the family the embarrassment, not to save Ashley and her reputation, but for their own financial purposes mostly. But you know, you could say like reputational purposes too. And I just think it's really important to address it for what it is, because there's still the issue too of him poisoning his 2 girls, and nobody's talking about that. And I really don't even want to talk about it, except that you got to deal with reality if that happened. And I don't know that it did, but there was the thing about chloroform, and then some people are saying NyQuil, which again, that kind of like tempts it down a little bit, because NyQuil is an over-the-counter med, whereas chloroform is just like a straight up poison, right? You can try to pretend that the NyQuil was necessary, like they were having trouble sleeping and they had a cough or whatever, but we know that those girls didn't wake up the whole event. Eventually, they called like a victim advocate, I think like somebody from Child Protective Services, and Ashley Smith's mother, I think it was a family member. And then they woke up the girls and got the girls out of there, which, I mean, what a heinous situation. But the fact that they didn't wake up for a few hours with all of this commotion going on, and then there might have been like an emergency medical call too. Maybe like an hour after the police arrived. And all of that is being suppressed. And again, if that's for the integrity of the investigation, then fine. But is it that, or is it the reputation of the church that had him as a youth music director? Is it for the reputation of the family business? Is it for the reputation of Tip City? Tip City is 10,000 people. Tip City is not known for anything, I don't think. I mean, I know it again as like my favorite barbecue place. People that have big churches might know it as their go-to for their flooring and furniture. I'm not even sure what other. There's a bunch of industries in Tip City, like probably like farming equipment and stuff like that. But it's a really small town, and I mean, they have like petty theft kinds of crimes. Um, I can't imagine when their last homicide was. They probably don't have more than one a year, maybe. But then again, a lot of fatalities go down as accidental, natural, self inflicted misadventure. And then they can keep stats down for actual homicides or, essays that get put in a miscellaneous file so they can say they don't have any essays in their community. That happens. That's bullcrap. But yeah. Oh, yeah, guaranteed, Mark. And to think she was the flag the first time he got in trouble. Are you talking about Katie Johnson or the Jane Doe when you say she was the flag? I'm not sure what the FLAG is. Should I Google that? But yeah, it sounds like the one that was interviewed 4 times by the FBI. It sounds like it was the one that goes by Katie Johnson. That's her Jane Doe name. That was 13 when she was assaulted by both the Trumpstein file freaks and beat up, abused. So FLAG. Let's see what that stands for, if that's something I should know. FLAG. Meaning acronym. I don't see that it has anything. Anyway, if you want to share what you meant by the FLAG when you were talking about the victim, I think. I think they all got something on everyone. They have something on Pam Bondi and Marco, like an initiation. Yes. Guaranteed, Mark. And to think she was the flag the first time he got in trouble. Or do you just mean flag? Like she was the red flag? And are you talking about little t or little e getting in trouble? Because I don't know that little t really has gotten in trouble. He's been protected. Question. Thinking of Gabby Petito, is Epstein and Maxwell alive and I'm some remote place? thinking of Gabby Petito. Yeah, I was going to bring up Gabby Petito for the purpose of like the incident that she had with Brian at the Mary Piglet, that Mexican restaurant where they had a big to do and they were not wanting to pay the bill, and Brian was having an angry outburst towards the staff, and Gabby was crying, and they really tried to put a wet rag over that. Again, that type of attention to a business can really tank the business. So unfortunately, it also hides the truth. That was the same day, that was hours before he took her life, allegedly. They went to Mary Piglet's for lunch, I think around 1, and then they stopped at the market, Whole Foods market, at about 3, and then they were on videotape of the red, white, and Bethune van lifers going by their parked van, I think at about 5:30 or 6, and they think it was right after that, right around that time that it happened. So not talking and not allowing investigators to do a thorough job with the restaurant is messed up. I mean, this was a young woman's life, and things were going sideways from the time that they had lunch, like in a really bad way, a really bad way. So we should boycott their business anyway, right? Jackson Hole, that's where the Mary Piglets is, and where the Whole Foods was. Um, Gabby Petito is Epstein and Maxwell alive, and I'm some remote place. So, Mark, you have me all confused with that question. Um, one of the things about Gabby Petito's case that is so unnerving to me is SF Investigate showed up there, and Red Flag Ronnie had involvement in Gabby Petito's case. Like, I think they both said that they went there to try to help find her, which to me is a major red flag. And not to be a crazy conspiracy theorist, but I have wondered at times if she was transported like in that hotel when Brian had flown back to Florida for that week. And then it was right when he got back that it was a couple of days after he got back that um, she lost her life. Again, not to be a crazy conspiracy theorist, but if she did lose her life, or maybe that was a body double and she was taken to a Trumpstein Island kind of place. I mean, that's a completely crazy conspiracy theory, and I don't want to put that out there as anything that I believe. I just think that it's imperative to not have a closed mind about the possibilities, because these people work in the creepiest of ways, right? And the way you transport somebody is one of the ways is you fake their passing away so that nobody's looking for them, and you basically own them free and clear. And Gabby fits all the specs of, the blonde hair, blue eye, tall, thin. I mean, she wasn't that tall, but they're just obsessed with people that look like her. Natalie Holloway, Kylie Rodney, the beautiful young women in the Idaho 4 case. I mean, that's like their prototype, is the pretty and slender and blonde. I mean, Xana in the Idaho 4 is obviously not blonde, but she meets all the rest of the criteria. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Anything is possible, Mark. Hey, Sherry, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, weird. SF, Steve Fixer, prove me wrong. Yeah, Steve Fisher showed up in Nancy Guthrie's case a week or so ago. I brought that up in one of my lives. I was horrified. Horrified. It's like he's like the kiss of death. If he's involved, it's a hopeless situation as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, is he showing up because he's covering up because these people have disappeared like Kylie, like Gabby, and then they're smoothing things over and whitewashing? Is that what's going on with that? I don't know. And I meant it in the fullest asset term. Yeah. Tiffany. Who's Tiffany? Am I forgetting somebody? Oh. Are you thinking the redhead? What was her name right after Kylie? Why am I spacing? You guys know who I'm talking about. It wasn't Tiffany, was it? Let's see. Redhead. Trinity. Thank you. Trinity Backus. There you go. Is that who you meant? Trinity Backus, Mr. Mark? Yeah. Steve Fisher, yep, PSYOP guy. Granny Annie, in my opinion, I think you're absolutely correct. Should I let the puppy dog in? Because they're just going to keep scratching more and more. Let me try to let them in. Nancy, Chelsea, Grimm, Kylie, Sebastian, and other blonde girl. Her name evades me right now. Glory seeker of tragic pimp. Annie, Granny Annie, puppies in. Yes. Well, the tricky thing is not hitting my stand or tripping over the cord for the computer. So come on, puppies. Come on in. And then they're going to try to steal my seat. And then where do I sit? Let me sit down before they try to steal my seat so that I don't have to squish them. Okay. Come here, baby. Come here. Oh, little bug. You're so cute. Silly girl. Oh, she's so cute. She's so funny. I love her. I love her so much. Here, turn around. Show your pretty face. Show your pretty puppy dog face. The bee. Woof woof. Hey there, Granny Annie. Adorable. Yeah, this one is, her name is Cheese, but I call her Chi or Cheeto or Chi or Cheese Ball. And then Mookie's over there too. Oh, they're so cute together. So Cheese just turned a year recently, so she's still completely insane. They're usually, puppies are pretty crazy until they're about 2, right? Although Mookie is like 9 and she's still kind of cray cray. A gift from above. Yeah, I love the puppy dogs. Dang Rips, look at the other stream star. Dang Rips, look at the other stream star. What? Now I'm so confused. I'm looking for my wax. I think I need to put some in. Okay. So what else do I have here in my notes to share with you guys? So yesterday, thanks for being in my live stream yesterday, you guys, when I was in Columbus and I was in the parking lot at Kroger's. That was fun. I really enjoyed doing that, just being like all spontaneous. Like the spirit just moved me and it worked out. Although the lighting was terrible, but that's okay. It's not about the lighting. So I was talking with you guys about my father offering to sell us to our God family. And it reminded me afterwards, hold on one sec. There's the wax. It reminded me of Virginia Gouffre. I grabbed the book. when I was reading her book, I kept thinking her dad must have sold her. Her dad must have sold her. So her dad worked at Mar-a-Lago. He took her into Biggly Piggly's office to introduce her to Biggly Piggly. Okay. He was like a maintenance man. He was a groundskeeper. Like he took care of the tennis courts and I'm not sure what else. And then his hot little 16-year-old or 15-year-old daughter starts working in the spa. Remember, she was a spa person, one sec. And somehow this is like 2000, I think, around 2000, maybe 2001. But see, that's the thing. She's 16 years younger than me. So my 16th birthday was 1983. She was born in 1983. And so, yeah, she was, I think it was right before her 17th birthday, allegedly, when she started working at Mar-a-Lago. And her dad worked there, so he helped get her the job. But then he takes her into Biggly Piggly's office to introduce, like, I mean, just to be real tongue in cheek, like they're white trash, like they're his commoners, his peons. That's not normal, I don't think, for a grounds person to go into like the CEO's office to introduce his new 16-year-old employee child that's working there. But it was a long time later in the book. I think it's like 400 pages. I think it's about this far in before she mentions it. Like, I think it's like 2/3 of the way in. But the whole 2/3 of the way in, I was thinking, like, her dad had to have gotten cashed out by, let's just say Trumpstein, rather than one or the other. But she was discovered at Mar-a-Lago and she was brought to Biggly Piggly's attention. So it's so twisted. And the way she brings him up in the book, it's like she's so effing careful because she didn't want to get rubbed out. And I think she did get rubbed out a year ago anyway. She had filed lawsuits against him, or at least one lawsuit against him for SA. And then she withdrew the lawsuit and said that she was confused, or that, she misremembered or something like that. I mean, just your typical crap. So she goes out of her way in the book to say he didn't do anything wrong, El Presidente. But a lot of these victims, I mean, in my knowledge, the Trumpstein fire has paid out over $150 million of hush money to victims that are not all female. And take that for what it is, if that's accurate. Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Like the Katie Johnson that filed the lawsuit 4 times in 2016 and then withdrew it 4 times because she was getting threatened. She was getting her life threatened. And you don't even have to directly threaten somebody's life. It's implied. Like, these people know that if they talk, bad things are going to happen to their family members or to their pets or to themselves. Tires are going to fall off of cars. They're going to fall off of yachts, fall out of buildings, all that kind of crap. Fall down the stairs, right? Ripley, your dog. For a second, I thought you were saying R.I.P. my dog. I hope that Ripley's doing all right, Mr. Mark. Ripley's amazing, isn't he like, is it a he? And isn't Ripley like 17 or 16? Um, I miss my BFF Maggie Moo, who I lost a little over a year ago. I'm so sorry, Boob Tube. It is so hard. Losing a dog, losing a pet is sometimes harder than losing a person. That little girl with awful parents probably was sold meffy drunk hillbillies, in my opinion. Which little girl are you talking about, Granny Annie? Yeah, a lot of little girls are sold. Are you talking about the Summer? Or you're probably talking about Summer, right? And yeah, she probably was. She disappeared from Tennessee, which is one of the worst states for trafficking. Ohio is also one of the worst states for trafficking. Um, Summer, doesn't her last name begin with a W? It's been so long. And I've never really covered that case. That case is so sad. I mean, she was like 5 or 6. Summer Wells. Yeah, Summer Wells. And did freaking SF Investigate show up there too? Because if he did, then we know what happened, right? Um, let's see. Yeah, so sorry for your loss. I'm sure that's probably who you're talking about, Granny Annie. So sorry for your loss, Boob Tube. It's awful. Thank you, Annie. She was the most loyal creature I'd ever met. Aw. The Be Great Memories. Absolutely. Hi to you all, lovely people. Hey, Christine, what's going on? Oh, peeps came hard for me when I posted up Katie Johnson interview. Dang, they were mad. I touched their golden calf. Zoinks. Um, yeah, that's wild. I mean, why did they even notice your channel's like small like mine? Isn't that interesting that somehow you got on their radar? Animals are the best. Hello, Miss Christine. Good to see you. Ripley is struggling, but he is old. Oh, my dear. That is so awesome that he's still hanging in there. Those incidents are predictable, or why once I catch on to an unhealthy narcissistic relationship, I do not confront, take my life and withdraw slowly. Yeah. Sorry to all who lost pets. It's crushing. Absolutely. Um, oh, and I wanted to share with you guys because it was so heartbreaking. I hit a groundhog the other day with my car. It broke my heart. I want to tell this story real quick because I was on a road that was like a 45-mile-an-hour road, and the car in front of me hit the groundhog like it was crossing, and they were slowing down, hoping not to hit it, but it went right under their car and it was like tumbling. And this is what's so awful is that I could have stopped because I slowed way down because they were slowing way down. And then I thought that they had already hit the groundhog. And so I kept going. And then it seemed like all in a split second, it seemed like the groundhog kind of came to and was going to try to run away, but then it didn't make it under my car. It just broke my heart. It just ruined my day. And, you know, I don't want to feel sorry for myself because it did a lot more than ruin the day of the groundhog. But, and then I was just like grateful it wasn't somebody's pet. That would have been even more terrible. Let's see. Yeah, Summer Wells. Yes, just remembered. Mark, he's an amazing little fella. Yes. And he lives up to his name. My daughter just turned on the TV. Is that bothersome to you guys? Because I can ask her to turn it down real quick. The sheriff's son in Summer Wells got child porn charges. Ooh, gross. Hey, I still have Maggie's daughter, Boo Boo. Aw. I'm blessed, and they always stay with you, and we'll see again. Rips is still here. I had my first dog got hit by a car, actually, and passed away. His name was Poco. He was the love of my life, Poco. And a couple of years after he passed away, I had a dream about him, and I was sitting next to him, and he said something to me, and I said, Poco, did you just talk? And he looked at me and he said, no. That was the whole dream. Is that so cute? But it was so cool that I got to not only hang out with Poco, but he talked to me. He visited. Um, yeah. I mean, I had that dream probably when I was like 13, and it just stuck with me. Because I think he died when I was like 11, 12. He's the dog that saved our lives because he threw up when we were being poisoned with carbon monoxide. So I think it was when I was 12 was when he died, because it was 11 when that happened. Um, yeah, that dog saved our lives, seriously. And how often dogs do save lives of owners, for sure. And there were a couple of dogs in Ashley Smith's home when the night that she was unalived. There was a dog in the Tepe house when they were unalived. I mean, dogs can be great alarm systems, and they can sometimes scare off would-be attackers. Obviously, it didn't work in those two situations. And um, there was a dog in the Idaho 4, but that didn't help either. Kylie had that dog too, that giant white polar bear looking dog. Um, let's see. Oh, so no more Groundhog Day. Yeah. Very interesting. LOL. I just deleted their comments. My channel is not a democracy. They don't get to vote on what I post. LOL. That's cute. That's funny. And yeah, I mean, it's obvious that they're trolls, because why would, scroll and roll? Like, why would they be commenting, right? Groundhog played possum and lost. Exactly, Granny Annie. But he probably wasn't playing. He probably was so stunned by the whole situation. Oh, it's just tragic. And Al is here wanting to eat bunnies who are my friends. Oh, we have a cat that's really old. She's like 16. And she used to, when she was like 1 year old, she used to eat baby bunnies, and it just broke my heart. Oh my goodness. Just killed me. Um, and I won't even tell you that she would eat squirrels too. I won't tell you. I don't hear the TV. Okay, good. Can't hear the TV on my end. Okay, good. As long as it doesn't like distract my brain, because that's the biggest problem. And it's just kind of a dull murmur. It's not too distracting, hopefully. Sheriff's son, I think, got trash pickup duty or some crazy nonsense. Anyone remember? Wow. Wow. Well, and it reminds me too of like Sheriff Wayne Wu's son, Nate Wu, being at the Kylie Rodney party, right? I am going to ask her to turn it down. I don't know if she turned it up or what, but it's starting to distract me. So, again, let me not trip over my cord or anything like that. Hey, darling, do you mind turning it down a little bit? Thank you. Did I burn the pizza? You guys, I should check the pizza. 1 second. I burned the pizza. Luckily, I got it at Costco, so there's more. But what a pain in the butt. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see. Mr. Mark, I had a Maltese. We got a Mastiff Rottweiler mix to protect him from coyotes and owls in the country. Oh, yeah, coyotes can be vicious. Hey Billy, what's up? Justice for Kylie. I'm back. Phone died. Yeah, I got mine plugged in. I got my computer plugged in. I'm plugged in. We're all good to go. Um, yes, lovely to see you, my dear. Um, and burn pizza is bad. Isn't it the worst? I know. Like I was doing so well. I set the alarm and everything, but then I got all distracted with my video stuff, and I set the alarm for her, so she should have caught it, but I'll take responsibility. Having hibiscus tea and chilling. Oh, that sounds lovely. Um, so what else? The Republicans. I don't want to offend any Republicans, but I have a note to myself here that they owned themselves in trying to own the libs, doing stupid things, outing themselves. I can't even remember exactly what I was thinking at the time that I wrote that down, but I was thinking how a lot of times Republicans are cutting off their noses to spite their faces to quote unquote own the libs, but they're really cutting off their noses to spite their faces. So keep it up, keep it up. Um, yeah, we've got two books tonight, so and let me see what else I got in my notes. Um, burnt offerings to feed the god. Can't get over the Hannibal Lecter crap with the Trumpstein files and all the beef jerky. And then, just like with that Howard Lutnick photograph, it's like when they then delete things or remove things, they're just outing themselves even further. It's hilarious that they don't realize what a dumb move that is. That the best thing to do is just let it go and hope that people will forget about it and move on. But, I thank them for all the stupid mistakes that they make. I'm an independent. Oh, good, Granny Annie. Two different algorithms sorting. And you know who we all are probably loving is that Thomas Massey from Kentucky, who's a Republican allegedly, but really I think he's a libertarian. He's like an off the grid kind of guy, but man, he is rocking it. Thomas Massey is the bomb diggity. He is kicking some butt. So you got to give it to him. I have a few projects in the works for Kylie. Gonna run them through legal first. I have not finished them yet. It's been very difficult to edit everything in a safe but informative manner. Very cool, boob tube. That's so exciting to hear. I'm super interested. I'm independent as well. However, I'm over the entire system. Yeah, I know. Our system is not working. Not working. Had hibiscus flavored water tonight at a Mexican restaurant called a Jamaican. Tasted like real sweet grapes. Ooh, that sounds so good. Yum. I love hibiscus. Like red zinger tea or lemon zinger tea. Really good stuff. Um Republicans lie, blame, and lie. That's what they do. That's what they only do. Well, and it's like every accusation is a confession. Um, it's crazy. Like all that stuff with Pizzagate and accusing Hillary Clinton with the grape soda and the pizza, when that's what's in the freaking Trumpstein files. That's what they're doing. And I don't think that little E was of either party. I think that politics, I don't think were really a thing for him, but maybe they were in the end when his good buddy was El Presidente. Um, we love Kylie Rodney, don't we? Um, We have the files right here. Ha! Oh man, that's amazing, Billy. Thank you. That's crazy. But it's just like with the birthday book, it's just absolutely nauseating to read. It's like putting your brain in a vice grip. I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach. Anyway, you can see if Smith family sells or cashes life insurance. Yeah, like that reminds me of the Murdoch red rums, and that guy, Alex Murdoch, had gotten a life insurance policy on his maid that fell down the stairs, tripped over the dog. That was crazy, crazy, crazy. Awesome boob, way to go. Yeah, the system is upside down. Freaking love, massive. Oh, Thomas Massey, are you doing voice to text or something? Or it just spell checked you. He came to kick ass and chew bubble gum, but he's all out of bubble gum. Hey, thank you, Mark. Yum yum. So, Billy, are you talking when you say yummy yum? Are you talking about in the Trumpstein files when they say that they say yum yum? Like it's creepy AF. Like at first, I thought that it was like a sexual thing, but now I'm thinking it's like a Hannibal Lecter thing. I think that's probably what you're referring to. Decided to be a Democrat in the 8th grade and have not changed my mind all these years. Christine, that's so cute. Yes, Billy, that's a really good source. And soon Ian Carroll will open up his AI assisted website to the public for searches. Ian Carroll, I'm not even sure who that is. I'm writing the name down though. I know, right? It's a great source. Okay, so were you talking about the tea? You weren't talking about the Trumpstein files because um, it triggered my memory of that. There's little email notes that say things like, "It was fun hanging out on your island. Thanks for a good time. Yum yum." Crap like that. But yes, I also agree with you about the code wording going through the files with the searchable format. So, you guys, I can't even remember what channel I heard this on. I think it was on the Daily Beast that everything in the files, in the Trumpstein files, that had the word don't in it might have been redacted because DONT, like Don T. So anything that said don't got redacted. Is that funny? Funny AF. And so what they were saying on the Daily Beast is that they were doing searches for DONT and nothing would even come up with don't. Nothing. All redacted, allegedly, according to the Daily Beast. I appreciate that the Dems have been trying to hold the Republicans' feet to the fire. Hopefully, all parties, no matter where they land, stand for the victims on both sides of the party lines. They are all complicit taking AIPAC or anyone else's money. Billy, darling, I'm determined. LOL. Yeah, and yeah, another thing they were saying on the Daily Beast, I caught a really good episode today, and they were saying how funny it is how um, Biggly Piggly is so fixated on Bill Clinton because Bill Clinton is so 10 years ago, but Biggly Piggly is always like stuck in the past. Like he just can't get up to the year 2026. He's like stuck in the 70s and the 80s and you know he just can't get past the Clintons. I mean, I guess he doesn't want to get past the Clintons because then he has to get into the Obama time, and that to him is like his nemesis, right? Completely insane. They have money when they are not with we the people. Yeah, and again, this Daily Beast, I'll put a link in the description to the one that I was listening to today. I think it was brand new today because they were talking about real current stuff. Um, and they were talking about how if you want people to invest in your venture, whether you're a politician or a scientist or a university, you got to suck up to the same group of billionaires. You know, it's all the same people that are donating to all these things. And that's where Jeffrey was like the the social director or the networking director, right? Um, our entire system is corrupted. Evil has seeped into every department, every agency, every branch. Agree. I'm with Bernie closest. I'm thinking with politics. I was so excited when Bernie was running for president, and you know, Hillary. I don't know what she did, but she did some underhanded crap to get the Democrat um, to be on the ticket for 2016. It should have been Bernie, and I think Bernie would have won. And it just, yeah, that was distressing. It was really hard for me to vote for Hillary. I did because I was so worried about DT. He just seemed like a Trumpster fire, and he's been worse the second time around, in my opinion. He was horrible the first time around and even more insane the second time around. I mean, he's just such a bully, and he's so unintelligent. And when he talks about, low IQ people, and, you'd have to be a stupid person to not take a $400 million free airplane. Only a stupid person wouldn't take that. It's like, does he not realize how stupid he sounds? Or low IQ person? It's like, that's not an intelligent way to speak. I mean, he's completely off his rocker. Absolutely off his rocker. Him and his 4D chess. It's just like, dude can't tie his shoes, let alone play chess or even checkers, in my opinion. Bernie has it going on. He still does. He's like 84 years old, I think, still. He's kicking butt, man. He is the bomb. Um, Chase Hughes says it best, in my opinion. Mainstream media is reading billionaires' scripts. Yeah, Granny Annie, that's pretty brilliant. Absolutely. But even like CBS was criticizing some of what DJT has been doing the last couple of days. Even CBS, which, that's pretty wild, isn't it? Bernie has it going on. I love how we can speak freely to each other here. We respect each other. You don't even get that in Congress. LOL. I was so scared to talk politics on my channel, BoobTube. It was the day before the election that I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to talk politics, because I literally hadn't made a video in like 2 weeks because all I wanted to do was talk about politics. And I didn't feel like I could come on and like be fake and talk about other stuff. And I didn't think I would do it until after the election. And then I just went ahead, and the day before the election, I just started talking politics. And I'm just glad that I did. It was a tough transition to make, I think, for some of my viewers, but I had to. I just had to follow that, you know, follow the beat of my own drum. And for me, my channel is all about justice and being healthy, living a healthy life, and hopefully finding truth and justice. And, the politics just plays right into that. So here we are. Here we are. Um, but to thank you guys for being here and having this discussion. The the APAC peeps screwed him over because he's not for the rich. Yeah, I do think Bernie actually got the shaft. Yeah, he did. I don't know exactly what had happened, but it was dirty. Hillary did some dirty crap. I mean, we could probably Google it and see what. If let's see if my voice thing will work with that. What did Hillary Clinton do to steal the election from Bernie Sanders in 2016? It's working. Let's see what it says. Hillary Clinton did not steal the 2016 election from Bernie Sanders. She won the Democratic primary by receiving nearly 4 million more popular votes and a majority of pledged delegates. However, the DNC faced intense criticism and controversy for actions that suggested a bias in favor of the Clinton campaign, in an apparent contradiction of its public claims of neutrality. Key issues and actions that led to the allegations of bias include joint fundraising agreement, an agreement signed in August 2015, long before Clinton secured the nomination, effectively gave her campaign control over the DNC's finances, staffing, and communications in exchange for helping to pay off the DNC's debt. Former DNC chair Donna Brazile described this in her book Hacks as the Clinton campaign placing the DNC on allowance and compromised the party's integrity. Leaked emails, WikiLeaks dump of DNC emails in July 2016 revealed DNC officials privately deriding the Sanders campaign and discussing ways to undermine him, such as suggesting to reporters that his campaign was a mess. This led to the resignation of DNC chair Debbie Wasserman, there's that name again, Wasserman, Schultz, and several other officials. Debate scheduling. The DNC was accused of scheduling a limited number of debates, often on Saturday nights when viewership was low, which was seen as a way to protect the frontrunner, Clinton. Advance information. Donna Brazile, if I'm saying her name right, also revealed she provided the Clinton campaign with advance notice of a debate question during a town hall in Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan again. Let's see. Provided the Clinton campaign with advance notice. Ooh, ouch. That's like cheating on a test, man. The class action lawsuit filed by Sanders supporters alleged the DNC violated its charter by favoring Clinton. A federal judge dismissed the lawsuit, ruling that the DNC, as a private corporation, had the right to select its own candidate and did not have a fiduciary duty to treat all candidates fairly, even if its rules stated otherwise. In one more paragraph and then I'm done. In response to the controversy and to heal party wounds, the DNC's Unity Reform Commission later implemented significant changes for the 2020 primary, including stripping superdelegates of their power to vote on the first ballot unless a candidate already has a majority of pledged delegates, making it impossible for them to overturn the popular vote. Well, that was educational. That's funny. She did not steal, but here's how she screwed everything up. Let's see. the lesser evil which you do but protest. It's the class war. Oh, he despises APAC, Billy, just like Massey. All lobbying abolished for now, but the rich are always watching us. Man, this whole like Palantir surveillance crap is insane. It's completely insane. Annie, are you quoting my last video? Because that's exactly what's going on. Um, don't be afraid to speak your mind. If it's the truth, it doesn't mind scrutiny. Exactly. Hillary polled better. LOL. Good old AI, a white rabbit that rewrites history. Yeah, totally. Well, and it's funny how it says, no, that's not what happened, but then it explains, yeah, it's sort of what happened. Illusion of choice. Yep, Billy. AI loves to eat itself through iteration, in my opinion. Yeah, flop cams all over. Too funny. All right. What else, you guys? I'm gonna need to wrap up. Oh, 400 kilograms of enriched uranium in Iran that we don't know where it went. Rutro. And yeah, I want to talk about a case probably in a video tomorrow. I do need to wrap up. It's the Hannah Petty case. If anybody is interested and wants to catch up on it, she was a woman who was poisoned by her husband, and it's a fascinating case. I'll put a link in the description to a video that I watched about it, and then if we remember, we can talk about it tomorrow. I've been trying to warn everyone about Palantir and Oracle for well over a year. No one sees it. Well, now they do. Boob tube. I know Oracle. I was on to Oracle when I lived in San Francisco in the mid 90s because that's where their flagship is. And they're a weird company. Yeah, being in IT, it's not hard to know about it. All right, I do need to sign off. I love you guys. What time is it? It's 9:30. So peace out. Thanks for being here. Drink your water, eat your protein, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow. Take care, you guys. And don't forget to hit that like button on the way out if you haven't yet. Thanks.